So hi guys, I recently got into 4K and actually now I am enjoying the films in the best way possible. And yeah, I feel like for the most part 4K discs are really the best way you can see the films. I do have a 4K projector which I got last year. I also have a Apple TV, 4K Apple TV, which I got even earlier than that, but still last year. And this year I got myself Xbox One X, not only for games but also for 4K films. Actually, I wanted to get PlayStation 4, but then I found out that it doesn't have 4K disc player, so there we go. Xbox One X won at that route. I will show you the discs I have. Actually, it's quite a lot of them, considering I just started collecting them. There are a few on the way, but this is what I have now. Most of them are films, but I do have one TV show, which is season 8 of Game of Thrones. And no, it is not perfect season of TV. Actually, this is the combo, like all of the discs, which is pretty nice, are combo packs of both 4K and regular Blu Ray. I do have regular HD TV. Not everything is something that I want to put on large screen, not always at least, so it's nice to have proper Blu Ray disc as well. So this is the first one. And then going with the films, and this is actually the most recent one, and it is the 2017 Power Rangers. This is an import. I got it on my regular Swedish website, but it is UK version, and I do like that they put extras on 4K disc as well. Obviously not all of them are in 4K, but for the most part with the other discs, the extras are featured on the Blu-ray disc, and it does have a digital download code, but it expired last year, and I do have the film digitally, but I really like it. I just watched this, and it is better than you expect. So I'm pretty bummed that they are not making more films, like more sequels. So, and moving on, which is a bit different, we have Pitch Perfect 3. Now, I am really huge fan, like, I do really like Haley Steinfeld as an actress, and I kind of wanted to see most what she's done, and she's quite famous for those films, I imagine, so I decided to pick up all 3 of them, and this was on 4K, so I decided to pick it up on 4K, but as you can see, I haven't seen this one yet, so I'm going to give it a watch, which is actually, it was really cheap. It was around 1/3 of what 4K discs usually cost, so that's the only reason I picked it up without watching the film. Otherwise, I pick up the most favorite ones on discs, especially 4K. So let's go with my first purchases. Not first one, but the first disc I got was part of this franchise. So we have Harry Potter films on 4K, and I noticed that there's a dent in one of them on the cover. Damn. But we have the Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets. So far, Philosopher's Stone is actually the only one I haven't seen in 4K. We have Prison of Azkaban. Because actually I did start rewatching all the films. I do have a regular Blu-ray copies as well. But after the second one, I actually got Xbox One X and decided that I might actually upgrade to 4K. and those films like are my go-to 4K films. They look so much better. Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows Part 1, Deathly Hallows Part 2. And then the very first 4K disc I got, which is Fantastic Beasts or When to Find Them. I actually forgot how good this film was, and I could actually say that for the Harry Potter film franchise as a whole, because I was a bit of a Harry Potter book purist before, and claiming films to be terrible. Well, I changed my mind after watching them. And then we have Crimes of Grindelwald, which is I got the first film, then I ordered Crimes of Grindelwald and 2 other films I will be showing you later. So let's move on to more recent releases. We have Star Wars. Again, this is one of the films I did have on Blu-ray and the DVD as well before, but I just felt like upgrading, and actually for the most part those are the only films that you can see the difference, and those are one of my favorite films. Those are like essentials. So we have A New Hope, which is so far the only 4K film out of the original trilogy I have seen, but I do have the Empire Strikes Back, and when I said that I've seen in 4K, because I did watch those films many times before. And then we have the Return of the Jedi, and I will not be getting other films than those 3 and one other one that I will show you next, because I do have all of them on Blu-ray. The prequels, I don't feel like the difference is so huge on 4K, and the same goes for the sequel trilogy and the spin-offs. And then we have the Rise of Skywalker, which I will say that this is the best film made. This is the best film out of the sequel trilogy, in my opinion. I hated on it when I saw it in theaters, but I do see myself picking it up quite a few times actually. It is not that bad. So we're moving on to Ghostbusters, which is an upgrade from DVD. I never really got that much into those films. Even when I've seen this film again in 4K, which looks great. So the special effects aged. You can tell that special effects don't look that great, but it is filmed from the 80s, so you have to forgive it. But the actual footage shot on film looks great. And I actually picked up the second one at the same time, and I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in a while, so I will be giving it a watch sometime. Then we have Doctor Strange. I got it with Crimes of Grindelwald, and the next film I'll be showing you. I've seen this film once in theaters. I did have bad experience, not connected to the film itself, but my personal health when I was watching the film, so I didn't get that much from it. Yes, I really want to rewatch it, but it won't be for a while. I have actually plans to rewatch all of the MCU so far. So yeah, and then we have Thor Ragnarok, which I actually have seen more times than Doctor Strange, and yeah, it is a funny film. I do like it. One of my favorite ones from MCU. So there's one film another film I do have on digital, and I do actually have on digital in 4K, but I just had to pick it up on 4K disc as well, and it is It Chapter 2. I'm actually looking for It Chapter 1 and I plan on getting it, even though I do own both of them on 4K. I do understand people. I don't understand people saying that they hate this film or they dislike this film. I think it's pretty good. I do like the first one. I think like the first one is better one, but I really like this one, and I like how they still go back and you know, borrow things from the book, and they still flash back. It's not only the adult portion, but they still bring back kid actors and you know, flashback as they did in the book. Another Stephen King is Doctor Sleep. I will mention that I have 2 films, 4K discs, that are based on Stephen King, and those are Stand By Me and The Shining. Now I do have The Shining on both regular Blu-ray. This is one of the 3 films I got with my first Blu-ray player, and I got it on digital, but I just had to get the collector's edition, which got released recently, so I'm waiting for that. Those 2 films. Then I might as well just tell you, I'm waiting for Steelbook for Gremlins, A Quiet Place, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I pre-ordered the Flash Gordon film, which is actually also the film I haven't seen yet, but I don't know, it feels like a film that I would like to see, so I got it. Moving on, another quite recent acquirement is Terminator Salvation. I haven't seen this film in a while, but I just found it, and it is on Netflix, so I can see it at any point. I just felt that, hey, let's pick it up in 4K. Then we have Terminator: The Dark Fate, which wasn't that bad actually. We have Serenity, which is quite a good film based on great series, which should have gotten more seasons. Firefly, awesome. And then last but not least is Baby Driver. And as you can see, not all of those films have been opened, so yeah, I'm planning to get around to watching them, but I have other things to do and other films to watch, so I just, you know, who knows, maybe I would decide to watch one of the films, like right now, after filming this video. But yeah, this is my 4K collection so far. There are other films that I'm waiting to get, but yeah, for the most part, with the 4K films, from now on I will be sticking more to put the criteria harder on it, to stick with the films I actually watched and I actually like, because, you know, why have spent 3 times, like, you know, $30 for film that I will watch once and then maybe get tired of. So yeah, and then I might get them in steelbooks, because steelbooks, I actually feel like after collecting few of them, are really cool. So yeah, this is my collection so far. So yeah.